Hello everybody and welcome back to DCM, Doritos, Connections, and Mountain Dew, your favorite local video game show. I am your host, Howard Miller.
And I'm your co-host, David Scrivani.
And let's start off with the news! Starting off, we're going over SEGA Studios' Ryoga Gokoku with their new live stream, going over the whole entirety of the Yakuza franchise and discussing the future going forward. The studio has announced the success of their newest title and most recent title, Yakuza Like a Dragon, the 8th mainline game in the Yakuza franchise, where they had a new character instead of Kazuma Kiryu, it's Ichiban Kasuga, where it saw great success in the West. Even though they also went from being an open world beat 'em up like Grand Theft Auto into an actual RPG like Dragon Quest. They were discussing how they did a huge amount of localization for this game, even dubbing the game, which took, from what we can gather, almost a whole year. With that success, they're just announcing that they're going to continue the Like a Dragon series as an RPG, but if you were a fan of the original 7 games in their action open world hybrid mayhem, they announced a sequel to their cop thriller, Judgment, titled Lost Judgment, set to be released this September, where you can do basically all the fun stuff you did in the original Yakuza series, just now in the new location of Like a Dragon. I'm actually very excited to see that not only is Yakuza basically the second best-selling SEGA franchise, but to see that it's doing now so well being brought over to the West, and I hope to see more from the future from this studio.
Not so great news if you're a Fatal Frame fan, however. 7 years after the last entry in the classic survival horror franchise Fatal Frame Maiden of Black Water, Fatal Frame is set to make a triumphant return later this year as a pachinko slot machine. That's right, the franchise is set to take the road that Metal Gear and Silent Hill took before it and enter the admittedly very successful world of gambling machines. Being developed by Yamasa Group, who previously developed pachinko machines for the Tekken and God Eater franchises, the latter of which I've never even heard of, it remains to be seen whether it will get a proper entry in the series anytime soon.
Wasn't the last Fatal Frame on the Wii U, too?
I think so.
Oh, poor franchise.
I know.
Poor franchise. And one of the oddest pieces of news you might hear is the fact how Nintendo is releasing an HD port of their game, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Now, that's not really the odd part, even though it is kind of garbage that they're releasing it at $60 with not any real graphical upgrades. However, they do have a new feature. A $25 plastic amiibo, similar to this little guy. And that's when you go, Howard, what are you talking about? Well, with your $60 game, you need to buy a $25 amiibo to use the basic ability in the game to fast travel between locations. That's right, Nintendo locked a basic function in the game hidden behind a $25 amiibo. And just for reference, if you don't know what an amiibo is, it is a plastic figurine with a little base at the bottom that has a microchip. And this microchip unlocks in-game content for most games. And for most Nintendo games, it's just costumes. It's just costumes, but now they are putting actual game features locked behind these little hunks of plastic. Along with that, amiibo production is kind of hit their all-time low since the Wii U and are kind of phasing out of style, so who knows when this feature is ever going to be patched in, because there's probably not a lot of figures going to be sold.
Big news as of the day of this recording, the Timesplitters franchise will also be returning. Don't worry, it's not as a pachinko machine this time. Developer Free Radical is reforming under publisher Deep Silver, with many of the original development team, namely founders David Doak and Steve Ellis, returning to make a brand new game in the series, the first since 2005, with Timesplitters Future Perfect. Development isn't expected to begin for another couple of months, but fans of the iconic first-person shooter are sure to be overjoyed.
Man, thank goodness Homefront got us a new Timesplitters game. In other news, if you haven't been paying attention for this growing story over the past few months, is that Microsoft got into their trouble for Xbox's internet service, Xbox Live Gold. Now, if you weren't aware, at some point a couple months ago, Microsoft unveiled a plan to increase Xbox Live Gold to an exponentially higher price. I don't remember it. I'll show it on the screen. I think it was like $70 to $90 for the full year of internet if you only want gold instead of getting the Xbox Ultimate, which is $15 a month, equaling out to like $100. So people were outraged. Literally the day they made that idea, they got rid of it instantly. So they did some, you know, corporate I'm sorries. They gave away Gears 5 for free for a month. And this is the more important thing. They announced that free games will be free. What does that mean? Well, if you wanted to play a game, if you bought an Xbox One or an Xbox Series X, so whatever garbage name Xbox you can get, you plug it in, and they'll say, do you want to connect to the internet? And you can say, yes. Then they'll say, do you want to buy our internet service? You can then hit no, but you can't actually use the internet. So that means if you said no to buying the service and you wanted to play Fortnite, you can't do it. But now, Microsoft has announced that any game that you can purchase for free, you can play for free. You do not require their Xbox Live service at all. Meanwhile, you can just buy an Xbox, connect it to the internet, and play Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Roblox, or whatever bad game is probably free. So
you calling Roblox bad?
What?
You calling Roblox bad?
That's why I said other games.
Okay.
But otherwise, if you get an Xbox, there's a whole world of free games that you can now be able to play, and a lot of them are cross-platform. And I'm actually very happy with this decision that they made because, you know what? Free should mean free, not free behind a $60 paywall.
Yeah.
And now for our next segment, hey guys, what you been playing? So what have I been playing? I've been playing the horror game, Layers of Fear 2. A horror game made by Blooper Team that's a sequel to the award-winning game Layers of Fear. The game has a mainly separate plot to the first game, whereas the first game follows a mad painter on a quest to finish his masterpiece. In the sequel, we have to play as an actor who is filming with a mysterious director on a cruise ship. As you keep exploring the ship, you learn about your past, your childhood abuse, and your future as the director, played by Tony Todd of Candyman fame, basically, you know, goads you, tells you what to do, where to go, what you're doing in life, how you're doing, throughout the whole entire story. The game has you walking down hallways and experiencing scares galore, and that's kind of really mainly it. It takes the approach of horror that Amnesia: The Dark Descent took, where you don't really have weapons, you just have to use your wits to dodge the monsters, but in this game you just kind of run faster than them. It's kind of scary the first time, but it just turns into the same running down the hallway consistently, and the plot's really really underbaked, as it's just loaded with backstory with no, I guess, no satisfying story when you find it out in the end. But it's a step forward for the first game, and honestly, it's less buggy, it's really pretty, and they fixed a lot of issues from the first game. It's a cheap game, bringing up to only about $20, and it has a pretty fun jump scare or two. And honestly, it's not that bad. You could do a lot worse. It's Layers of Fear 2. Is now available on PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch.
What have I been playing? What else? Another boomer shooter. I've been playing Indefatigables: Amid Evil, a spiritual successor to fantasy shooters like Heretic and Hexen. Amid Evil features medieval fantasy weapons like a variety of magical staves, swords, and axes. With a focus on exploration, Amid Evil features some really tight combat, with the starting axe being one of the most satisfying weapons I've ever used in a video game. Just the sound and the feedback from the enemies you get when you chop a dude in half is just mwah. The best, however, is undoubtedly the late game weapon that allows you to quite literally shoot planets. And the game even judges you if you shoot the Earth. Amid Evil is now available on PC, now with RTX support, with the Switch port coming soon.
And now for our main topic today, where we're going to review the 2021 film Mortal Kombat.
Oh boy!
Woo! Let's go. First video game review. Justin, get it hype, yeah! All right. So the movie came out, what was it?
April 30th?
Yeah.
April 30th. April 29th.
April 29th. April 29th. And I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. So we'll start off spoiler-free, and then I'll just put up a hard sign that we're spoiling everything. So the plot is essentially we follow not any character you really mainly know. What's his even name again?
Cole Young.
Cole Young. So we follow
Played by Louis Tan.
Yep. And he is basically just an MMA fighter down on his luck. And he has the dragon birthmark. Now, this all sounds really stupid now that I'm actually saying this plot out loud. In my head, this sounds a lot better.
To be fair, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah, so he gets this dragon birthmark, and basically that means he's one of the chosen to participate in the martial arts tournament of Mortal Kombat, where the 3 realms of Nether Realm, Earth Realm, and what was the other one? Was it literally
Outworld.
Other Realm? Outworld. They all compete to see who can get control of all the realms. If you win 10 times, you get control over everything. And we lost 9 times, so this time we actually have to win, and yada, yada, yada. Basically, like the first game, it implies that there's going to be this ginormous tournament. There's going to be everyone, and there's going to have all these wonderful characters and such, and fighting ensues. Which, honestly, trailer-wise, the movie looked fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked like a fun kung fu adventure, but
It wasn't.
it's really stupid.
Yeah. Which, again, it's Mortal Kombat, so, like, there's a little bit of leeway there.
A little bit of leeway.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. But
Not enough leeway to excuse what the movie ended up being.
like at the hard halfway point, everything just falls apart. It's not good at all.
Yeah.
Not one bit. So now we're going to spoil literally everything.
So if you haven't seen Mortal Kombat,
Sure.
don't turn away now.
Yeah.
Plug your ears. Skip to this time code.
Yeah, we have timestamps. Like we can totally do that now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they don't even follow the game. They just like the whole point is Shang Tsung, who's Outworld's guy, and Raiden is Earthrealms, right? So they're assembling their team, and Shang Tsung just goes, you know what? I don't even though we're gonna win, I don't even want to participate in this tournament.
Let's just kill everyone before the tournament starts. That's way we'll win automatically.
So that's the main conflict of the game, is that Cole Young now has to find a way to get superpowers and train himself for the actual real Mortal Kombat tournament, all while avoiding all the random enemies that Shang Tsung sends out, thus basically whittling down the roster. So the film heavily implies that I thought that, because like the film starts with like a 7-minute roll of the backstory of the character Scorpion, of how Sub-Zero basically wiped out his whole clan, and Scorpion sitting there in NetherRealm is
Which I think we're in agreement. That opening 7 minutes is phenomenal.
It's great.
It features some absolutely great filmmaking and storytelling from both points of view.
Camera cutting every 3 seconds.
Well, that's most Hollywood action movies.
Yeah.
I've learned not to get my hopes up about those things.
That's true. But this one was really noticeable. Like, this one was kind of worse. And yeah, so the whole film kind of implies that Cole Young is a descendant of Scorpion. And Raiden even says, like, yeah, Raiden even says that he's the bait.
He's descended from one of the best ninja who ever lived, Hanzo Hasashi.
Yeah, Hanzo Hasashi, Scorpion. And, you know, so he has to go to where Raiden is. So, what was it? So, and like Sub-Zero's still alive? So Sub-Zero's chasing
Somehow.
him.
We don't know how, but he is.
Sub-Zero's still alive 400 years later or whatever, but Sub-Zero's alive. So he's still there, and what was it? Jax and Sonya Blade find him, 2 American military personnel. And they have Kano, which is a bad guy. He's a mercenary. And like the gang's all there, and then fan favorite character Lizard I'm sorry, not Lizard. Reptile. Spider-Man's the Lizard. It's the same thing. Reptile.
He looks more like the Lizard than he does Reptile.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, because I'm trying to remember. It's like, what happened first? A Lizard came in. No, that's Reptile. Reptile comes in. They kill him. He's gone. Instantly.
Yeah.
Like cool fight scene, but he's gone. That character's gone. Then what was it? They get to Raiden, and then Shang Tsung's like, you know what?
They get to Raiden. They have a big training montage where there's absolutely no plot development whatsoever.
Yeah, and then the film just hard stops to Shang Tsung going, you know what? Let's just invade their house. Let's just go to the temple, even though it's against the rules to do so.
And of course, at Raiden's temple, we meet both Liu Kang and Kung Lao, who in the game series, they are quite similar, but they are very clearly two separate characters.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that from watching the movie. They are essentially the exact same character here.
Yeah, they do literally the same thing, except one has the saw hat and one does the bicycle kick going.
Yeah.
That's.
Which honestly, that didn't even look that good.
Oh no, because the bicycle kick doesn't look good anytime.
I thought it looked okay in MK11.
Okay, that's true. Game-wise, it looks
Yeah.
good. But like in practice, it looks like Godzilla when he's doing the drop kick. Okay. Like, there we go. And like, there's not really much of a plot at all until Shang Tsung says, you know what? We're skipping the plot. I'm taking the fight to them.
Yeah.
And then he just takes the fight to them. He brings Goro, which Goro is in the first game.
Yep.
He brings Melina, which canonically doesn't make sense.
Katana is nowhere to be found in this film. For people who aren't familiar with the Mortal Kombat lore, Melina is a half-clone of Katana infused with Tarkatan DNA. There is no Katana. There is no Tarkatans anywhere.
Yeah, not even the main Tarkatan character, Baraka, he's nowhere to be found, but they put in Melina. They put in Cabal. And
Which I like Cabal.
I like Cabal.
I'll give that a slide.
But he looked goofy.
Yeah.
He looked goofy. And then they put in who?
Nitara and General Reiko, the latter of which I had never even heard of until seeing the movie.
Yeah, which they're all from like Mortal Kombat 4, and they kind of stayed in Mortal Kombat 4. Or was it Armageddon? It was one of the really bad ones no one liked.
I think both of them debuted in 4.
Okay.
At least Reiko did.
So like, we got jobbers who weren't in the first game, and they all just kind of show up to the temple, and they just start fighting.
Yeah.
It really does seem like they just it's like they took a plot that had a bunch of lore that you can like put them together like a jigsaw puzzle, but instead what they did was they made their own jigsaw puzzle that looked like a 5-year-old made it, and they put whatever they want on top of it, and they said we don't need to ever think about this, ever. It really, lore-wise, nothing makes sense at all. Mm-hmm. At all. Mm-hmm. Which is the main disappointment, because it's so easy to do the lore of Mortal Kombat. It's so easy. You just got to pick the right group of characters, and you don't really got to do much. That's what the '90s film did.
Just take the cast of the first game and do that.
But he goes, well, I want something from 1, I want something from 2, I want something from 3, I want something from 4, I want something from Armageddon. It's like, buddy, dial it back.
Slow your roll, pal. Slow your roll.
And then he goes, I want to make a new one, and then I want to do this, and I'm like, woo, calm down, buddy. The action scenes are actually pretty good, though. I enjoyed the fight.
I did like the Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. I think that was really good.
Sub-Zero Scorpion fight was good. I thought, like, even the cheesy, the fight in the temple and the fight afterwards, those weren't bad. Yeah. Goro fight technically wasn't that bad either. I liked Goro. Like, all of the fights.
Even though Goro was a big CGI monster, which doesn't always work in action movies.
It doesn't, but honestly, I thought it worked pretty well.
It's better than some, that's for sure.
That is true, better than some. But honestly, if I had to give it like, I think it's average.
Do you want to do out of 5 or out of 10?
You want to do out of 10?
I can do out of 10.
I'm going with a 5 then.
I was going to go 5 too.
I'm going with the 5
All
out
right,
of 10.
so you heard it here first, folks. The official DCM rating of Mortal Kombat 2021 is 5 out of 10.
I'm going to put 5 different flavors of Doritos, like right here. That's our score.
There should be at least 5.
Oh, I think there's at least got to be 10 flavors of bags.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah, 5 out of 10. It's okay. It's fine. Action's cool.
Yeah.
Lore is not well constructed ever at all. Nope. Not one bit.
Nah.
And now for our next segment, in which we discuss, if you had to pick the powers of one Mortal Kombat ninja, who would it be and we got our esteemed philosopher friend, Brian, in his new segment, Brian's Bath Time. Check it out. Hello and everyone, and welcome to DCM, Doritos, Connections, and Mountain Dew, your favorite local video game talk show. I am your host, Howard.
And I'm your co-host, David.
And today we have a new segment today. We're aptly titling it after our favorite co-host over here, Brian, in Brian's Bath Time. How you doing, Brian?
Oh, I'm all right.
Okay, that's wonderful. And we also have Justin just chilling over there. Say hi.
Howdy.
Yep.
Host of Just In with Justin.
Yep, the podcast that's on a hard drive somewhere.
Yep.
Perfect. So we have a very poignant, important discussion today.
Yes.
One in which I yelled at Justin.
It was a very heated topic of discussion last week, and we decided this needs to be a segment on DCM.
Yeah. It was, if you were to have one Mortal Kombat ninja's powers, what would be the best one? Right? What would be the most overpowered best one?
Not the one you'd most want to have, but
Yeah.
specifically the one that would be the best, like the most useful, most powerful.
Yeah, like if you could steal, if you had to steal one power and you can only steal one ninja's power, like what's the best one you got to do in that situation? Mm-hmm. Okay? So, Dave, you have the list of ninjas.
I have the list of ninjas here. I have it on mortalkombat.fandom.com/wiki/ninja.
Okay, but the ninja list is kind of weird on that one.
It's a little weird. It includes the female ninjas as well, so like Jade, Katana, and Melina.
So I guess to preface this, should we count those, the female ninjas? Because I was thinking on no.
Not really.
I think most
No.
people don't tend to count the female ninjas when they're talking about the Mortal Kombat ninjas specifically.
Because they're sexist. But however, we're also
There's that too.
sexist, so it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so how do we want to kick this off?
I mean, do you want to just go ninja by ninja and then we just discuss what's the best one? Because if we just do all out going for it.
Well, I think if we do all out going for it, at least you and I will be in agreement.
Okay, well that's cheating, but okay.
So, yeah, how's it cheating?
We'll tag team them.
That would be funny though.
Okay, sure, go for it. Go for it.
Hold on. Hair in my mouth.
Ew.
So I think the best ninja, best Mortal Kombat ninja to be would undoubtedly be Noob Saibot.
Yeah. So we looked over his powers, right? So first of all, every ninja has a teleport, but he has portals, right? He can teleport through.
Not Sub-Zero.
We'll
Shut
get
up.
there. We'll get
Shut
there.
up.
Neither does Reptile.
Does Reptile not have a teleport?
No, he does not. He goes invisible.
Is that really? He's the only ninja that doesn't have a teleport?
I think so.
Yeah.
Huh. And you were too busy trying to argue whether or not Sub-Zero had a teleport?
He is Diglett. What are you talking about?
All right, shut up. We're talking about Noob. We're talking about Noob right now.
So Noob has portals. He can basically teleport, right?
Yep.
He has his own clone of Smoke that he can use Smoke. And in certain iterations of Noob, he can use Sub-Zero's powers.
And remember, he also, not only does he have a teleport, but because he uses portals, he can teleport other people.
Yeah, he can teleport other people. I don't think most ninjas can do that with their teleport.
No.
That's right.
Also, it's a shadow clone. It's just another noob. It's not Smoke.
Didn't we look at it and he has some of Smoke's powers?
pretty
Yeah, he
sure.
does have some of Smoke's powers.
Yeah, he has some of Smoke's powers. I mean, he has shadow clones, yeah, but
Well, then that's not visually shown very well in most games.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no, it's not. Do you know how obnoxious that would be to just have Smoke just chilling in the background in every noob fight, just going like, hi?
Well, in MKX, they put Triborg, which is obnoxious. It's 3 ninjas in one.
True.
Oh, wait, do we count the Cyber Ninjas?
You should.
We should count the Cyber Ninjas?
I would say
Because
so.
they're Lin Kuei.
But didn't we
Oh, yeah.
didn't we determine that Sector and Cyrus kind of sucked in terms of powers?
Yeah, but what about Triborg?
Because they have stuff.
Yeah, they
They
just
don't do
They
anything.
are
They just
bounty
bring-
hunters.
Yeah, they bring stuff. Cyrax has net and Sector has rocket.
It's like okay, I'm gonna take this power. Let's see, ice, fire, U.S. military.
And I suppose Triborg, you could make a good argument for Triborg because he has Cyrax, Sector, Smoke, and Cyber Sub-Zero's powers.
Wait, Smoke was also a robot at one
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
God, Smoke is dumb. Okay.
Smoke is just getting used like a rag.
Smoke was a Revenant and also a Cyber Ninja.
What do we do with Smoke?
Both of them? Okay, so back to Noob. All right, so back to Noob. So he has some of Smoke's powers, some of Sub-Zero's powers. Not a whole lot, but he has some of Sub-Zero's. He has portals.
His portals. He has a cool scythe.
He has a cool sickle and scythe.
Shadow clones.
Shadow clones.
Only in 11 though.
So yeah, sickles. I mean, he only had the scythe in one game, right? And that was like the one after 4, I think.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anything after 4 is trash. That isn't until we get to 9.
True.
Unless it's Shaolin monks. What does it say anything else for Noob?
That's about it. You can throw portals at you.
Yeah, he can throw portals, shadow clones, smoke, Sub-Zero.
Okay, after his transformation, that's what we want.
Yeah. After his transformation, when he goes Super Saiyan.
He can turn invisible.
Wait, can he?
Apparently. His
So-
powers over darkness include being able to turn invisible, creating weapon constructs, etc.
He can make any weapon whenever he wants.
So he's like Carnage.
None of this stuff is ever shown in the game.
This is on the
ridiculous.
Mortal Kombat wiki.
I don't care.
Well, I mean,
If it's not in the game, it doesn't exist.
well, it had to have come from a game if it's on the wiki. What were you looking at the expanded universe? Like, yes, in the novelization of Noob's backstory.
I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah, hold on. There has to be a source on that. What's the source? Show me the Carfax on this, okay?
There's no Carfax, unfortunately. No Carfax.
Okay, so we're taking it as it is.
Yep.
So
Okay.
somebody wrote this, and we have no idea if they actually.
This is the Wikia. If this isn't right, we sue.
Brian, it's mortalkombat.fandom.com. What more do you want?
It's a bunch of nerds talking about Mortal Kombat. You think they'd be wrong? They're nerds. No, I'm not going there. All right, so
They're basically the Power Rangers of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
it's true.
All right, so
We have
number 1 is Rain.
I'm still not convinced, so I'm just going with 3-way tie.
Okay.
Because
that's
Noob and Scarlet can kill Rain, but Rain can kill the planet.
Very,
And
okay.
Scarlet and Noob can't.
All right, so top 3 in no particular order: Rain, Noob, and Scarlet. And then at number 4 and 5, respectively, we have
Ermac and Sub-Zero.
Ermac and Sub-Zero. Yes.
Yeah, and then a mention for honorable mention Cyrax for destroying the planet. It was Cyrax, right?
Yeah, once with a lot of effort.
Yeah, once with a lot of effort.
With a lot of effort.
He gets the honorary pat on the back for not, I guess, being total trash.
In a
He got the "You Tried" star.
in a non-canonical fatality.
Oh, wait, non-canonical. Get him out, then.
All right,
get
bye,
him out.
Cyrax.
Get
Get
him
outta here.
out. No.
Put Scorpion in there instead.
Yeah, Scorpion's honorable mention.
All right.
Okay.
Garbage. Bye, Cyrax. All right. So we're good?
I think we're good. We're all in agreement.
All in agreement?
Yep.
Any additional thoughts? No? Going once? Going twice? Don't look at me like that, Justin.
What?
Okay, so I think that's a pretty good way. This is a pretty good discussion, healthy debate. Here at Brian's Bath Time,
Yep.
a new segment on DCM.
Wait. I could ruin this in one statement.
No.
I'm finishing up, so it better be a good one.
Smoke is the best.
All right, end it.
All right, yep, we're done. I'm Howard.
I'm David.
I'm Brian.
I'm Justin.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off right there. Good night, everyone. And that's the end of our episode. Make sure to yell at us in the comments section about how you actually did like the Mortal Kombat movie and we're fuddy-duddies. Or
You'd be wrong.
yeah, or just shut up because I'll delete your comment. That's a threat.
This is 1984.
With that out of the way, I'm Howard.
And I'm David.
See you next time, everyone.